definitely.
Jumping on sausage.
What?
Because of Leicester's defeat by Manchester.
Craig up! Craig up!
Lovely, lovely breakfast. That shit, start again.
Willand.
Willand.
Not Willand.
Willand.
That's brilliant. That's the perch. What? Managed to dodge the camera on the way out.
Right then, we're back on a bank and we are down in Devon. Today we're at Lakeside View Fishery. We've got an exclusive booking on Birch Lake, which is the 3-acre carp pond. It's got a stock of about 90 fish. Hopefully at some point me and Hugh might be able to get one of them. We come for a bit of a sesh for 48 hours and yeah, hopefully we can have a few.
Yeah, we started off in the only way possible with a nice warm breakfast from Helen's Diner in Willand. So yeah, check that one out if you're coming down this way because it is incredible, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a wicked breakfast.
But yeah, you know, it's winter time, it's nice to be out the bank, nice and sort of, you know, comfortable, bit of sort of social. Enjoy it, innit, mate? Get out and about, innit?
Definitely. So, oh, who the hell let you lie?
Oh no.
Hello!
What are you doing? Oh, okay,
So-
well that was that ruin then.
Looks like this lot decided to tag along. So yeah.
Official vlogger's hat.
Oh, that's a lucky hat, that. So yeah, you've got Carpy Madness, obviously the Carp King and Craig who tags along. And, usually saves the vlogs.
But yeah, anyway, we're down here for a social. Hopefully one of us is going to catch a fish and we'll have something to show you for the camera. So none of us have got a rod in yet. We've been there for like 3 hours and it's been really productive, as you can tell. But yeah, hopefully one of us will have one. So
Until then,
happens. Yeah,
let's get on with it.
let's crack on.
Let's go fishing.
How many anglers does it take to work out how to use a baiting pole?
Still getting it wrong.
Right, we're in. Back on there.
Wow. Good teamwork, lads, good teamwork.
There we go.
Look at that. That's a big one.
It's a two-person job, that is.
Once it's out there, it's...
Well, the way I normally use it is like I'll keep it in
half.
2 bits.
Yeah, half and half.
Not even that, like 2 and then stick on another 2 bits and then another 2 bits.
It's kind of what I was saying, you might not want to put it all together. You got the end cap?
You need the end cap on it.
Well, otherwise you get a shit in here with it.
Pull off, isn't it?
I mean, that is the best 2 minutes of footage ever.
Right.
Anyone got a rod in yet?
What do you want to get rolling? Is this more fun?
What's the time? 1 o'clock? We got here 3 hours ago.
We'll start fishing tomorrow.
It's getting dark in a minute. I might just chuck them out in the morning. The same thing's going to happen. They're not going to, long's not going to go off. Anyway. Well, you've got.
That's a bigger than that, Chris. Oh. Look at that.
Is that what you eat dinner with as well? Is that Lucy?
Well, that's what I eat my angel delight with.
Right then, well the rods are out, so I thought I'd just come back to you. So give you a bit of a backbone. We did the draw, and in fact me and Sean went in separately and kind of come out opposite ends of the lake, to be honest. So hopefully the filming won't be affected, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm kind of sharing a peg with Matty from Carp Madness in peg 10. Then you've got Craig, the Carp King, and then Sean down the far end. But yeah, I mean it's quite a small lake anyway, so we're not that far apart. So we should still see each other. I know he's very worried and probably already missing me. But yeah, so long and short of it, rods are out. I'm fishing in between two islands. There's a bit of a sort of shallower bar. To be honest, this side of the lake that we're on is actually all about 3 foot the entire way across, other than Matty's water, which is up in the top right hand corner as you look at the lake. And yeah, that's about 12 foot, so he might have a chance up there, but I think 3 foot, with all the cold water we've had recently with a load of rain, might be a struggle, but we'll see. We can only try. So yeah, I'm fishing 3 solid bags, so I've got a bit of the Cray mini mix in there just to sort of mask the point of the hook, a load of maggots, and then yeah, a little bit more Cray mix at the top just to top it off, injecting out with some beta stim, and yeah, confident in it. Fingers crossed we can nick a bite, and we'll see how we get on the first night. Just got myself one of these Ridge Monkey cod stoves as well, on a recommendation from Sean. He's had one for a little while. He's got the dual, but for me I only need the one. So yeah, thought we'd open it up and see how we get on with it, see what we like. Yeah, so Sean, like you say, he recommended it just because the build quality is so good. Yeah, it's maybe a little bit more weighty than what a lot of stoves can be, but for me I want something that's going to last, because my last one started leaking, and I'm sure you all agree no one wants a leaking stove going on throughout the night while they're asleep in the bivvy. So yeah, thought we'd just get it out and have a look, and to be fair, I can't see me being disappointed with all the Ridge Monkey stuff. It's high quality stuff, brilliantly built. You know, one thing I will notice straight away is that there's quite a long sort of gas hose on that, so that's decent. Yeah, we'll fire it up and see how we get on with it. See you soon.
Right, and so we are fishing. I've got all 3 rods out, and it's early afternoon now. It's a little bit frustrating. I've left my tripod at home. I have got a spare tripod, which was my original tripod before I bought a new one a few years ago. I'd actually given it to Hugh, and luckily he had it in the van. Unfortunately, I can't find the adapter for it, so at the moment I still can't use it. So I'm kind of without a tripod, so I'm having to do a lot of handheld camera work. So hopefully it comes out alright and it's not too bad, but it's going to definitely change the way that I can film. Hugh has got his camera, so hopefully I'll be able to use his a little bit, use his tripod, and be able to get a bit of decent footage. But anyway, everyone's fishing. The guys are actually at the top end at the moment, having a bit of a social and a bit of banter with each other. I've been sort of getting the rods properly sorted. I've put a little bit of bait on one of the rods as well. So I'm going to spin the camera and just quickly show you what I've done. It's about 3 to 4 foot deep, so this is definitely the shallow end. I think Matty said the top end he put the deeper round and it was about 10 or 12 foot, so definitely the shallow end. Obviously the wind is pushing down there, as you can see it's pushing from right to left into this corner, and this is the end of the lake down here. There is a swim actually just the other side of here, but because we've got this exclusive, we've decided not to go in that swim because it's such a tight little spot. There's also one over there which is ridiculous. So basically I've got this whole end of the lake, and the wind is pushing down there. It does look quite nice. What I've done, there's a little dip in the horizon over here, and I've basically used that as a line marker, and I've cast the middle rod, that is, onto the far side, walked around, dropped it in about 3/4 of a rod length out. It's just past the shelf and the firmer ground as it drops into the clay, and it felt like a nice area, and I've dropped it in there. I've put a little bit of bait on it. I basically mixed up some boilie crumb, some cream mix pellets, and some slightly bigger 4mm S7 pellets, mixed it all together with a bit of corn, and then gave it a good glugging of S7 liquid. I've not had any other water or liquids to it, and I've just used that S7 liquid to bind it all together into a little bit of a ground bait. I haven't made it firm, I've made it a little bit soft, that way it breaks up a little bit on the way down, and I've put 3 or 4 handfuls of that over on that rod, and that is fishing on a solid bag with a little PB wafter. The right rod is literally halfway out into open water on a straight solid bag with a PB wafter, and then the left rod is about half a rod length off of this island. I've basically walked the other side of this tree, cast from here, and then walked the rod back around, and obviously brought it round to the rod rest, and I'm fishing about half a rod length or so off of this island, and all I've done is put a Ronnie out with a big bag of maggots on that one on a leg clip. So slightly different tactics on each, just to try and see what works. It is very shallow up here, like I said, the top end is a lot deeper, but hopefully this wind's going to bring some oxygen. It might get the fish down there. It is a little bit fresh, but it's not really cold, so I'm hoping that it does bring the fish down here, and potentially we might have one. But hopefully one of us is going to have a fish and we'll have something to show you. But that is currently what I'm doing, so until something else happens, I'm going to switch the camera off and go and catch up with the guys.
And next on the catwalk is the Fox model. You just put your back out.
Go on!
I lied, just blowing one on Max once. Whoa! How'd you turn the clutch?
Here. Hit that. You're lying. Oh, you dick. I'm out of breath as well.
That is me.
I'm choking on my sausage here.
Rhino, buddy.
I put you actually dead serious.
Right then, well, good morning. Unfortunately, absolutely nothing to report for me, at least on the night, and I think probably goes across the lake as well, because I kind of said if anyone has anything, wake each other up, because it'll probably be a half decent fish. But so yeah, it looks like everyone probably had a good night's sleep, hopefully. I'll just try to wake myself up as early as I can and bring some changes and see if I can make something happen. So going to reel in at least one rod and stick it onto zigs, and maybe follow that with a second. So going to just quickly knock off the zig now and get it out in the lake. Alright, Carpy madness?
Are you filming still?
Yeah.
Are you not live?
Yeah.
So you see what happens at the end of it, please. I've got one in the sink down there, mate.
I had 3 in the night, but they were only 20, so I just slipped them back. Yeah, I ain't gonna wake anyone up for 20.
Mate, it's fucking windy.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? There we go then, that's the end result. Black Fox zig liner, a bit of yellow foam on a size 6 ESP gripper. Let's get it out in the lake.
Right, so I haven't done much of a video this morning because it's been pretty windy. We had a lot of rain this morning, so it has been pretty poor for getting any decent video quality. and that seems to be the way it is lately. Most of the sessions so far, they've all been sort of windy, rainy, and it has made for pretty bad videoing conditions. But just to let you know, there's a bit of a slick, as you can see, going out here. It's dying off a bit now, but that's because I've just redone that right rod and dropped it in close. I've also redone the left rod and dropped that in to the left hand side of this tree, about a rod length and a half out. And the reason I've done that is because I've actually had a couple of liners this morning, and I'm wondering whether there's some fish closer into this bank, not so on the wind, sort of maybe going up and down a bit. So I've left the middle rod. The middle rod is still out in line with this sort of dip in the tree over there. There's a net pole over there just as a line marker when I'm casting. I've not put any extra bait out. I did put some bait on that middle rod spot over the other side, but the right rod was on just a solid bag and the left rod was just on a Ronnie with a bag of maggots. So not putting out too much feed, as it doesn't seem they're feeding that heavily, as none of us has really had anything. Craig did actually have a bite last night. Unfortunately he did lose one. He was fishing the willow on the left hand side of the island, just up to the right of me. He's 2 swims up to my right, but the rest of us, it's been very, very fishless. I know Matty is fishing up to the very right of the swim. He's in the first swim basically next to the other 10-acre lake, and he's got a sheltered bit of water, and he's got the deepest bit of water. It's about 10 or 12 foot. I think he's fished as far along the bank as he can safely fish, and he's just fished them close in, I think, to the bank, as some of the guys on the other lake have said that is a bit of a spot that fish do get caught from apparently. So anyway, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might switch over a bit later on this evening and fish for the perch for the evening and see if anything turns up. I've got to go to the shop in a bit and get myself some king prawns for bait, so I will be reeling them in a bit and going for a bit of a drive. But hopefully at some point we'll have something to show you, but it's looking a little bit bleak, but you never know. At any point it could go ripping off and we could have something to save the blog.
Feel nice?
Yeah, it feels alright. Come on! Eating boys.
Not falling for that one.
Only a mug would fall for that.
Hey!
Big rhino. Steam trade.
You did a video, didn't you? We're all fucking going, oh, he's doing video. Not bad.
Oh!
That's a perch.
Go up! Are you for real?
I'm guessing so.
I thought you were joking.
Glad everyone managed to dodge the camera on the way out.
Fish on, mate?
That's fucking ripping off.
Fish on? Was it dropped off?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was absolutely ripping off. I don't know why it's dropped off, unless it's smaller fish, but just picked a prawn.
Yeah, maybe, felt the resistance. But... oh well, next time.
They are still level on points though with Tottenham, who are in
Well, you
fifth
got
place.
Dora.
It means because of Leicester's defeat by Manchester,
Craig up!
No, that was good.
and then 6 points there Chelsea in fourth. Meanwhile, for Manchester City,
Did he fall over?
7 points clear of Leicester, but they're still 19 points behind the leaders Liverpool, who are looking for their 19th title, and they're in action on Monday Night Football.
I keep thinking he's joking.
More exciting than carp fishing.
Yeah.
Right, I can't really hold it very well, but I've had a bite on the perch rod and I've got an eel. So not the intended species, but it's the first fish of our social so far. There he goes. But yeah, definitely not the intended quarry, so I'm getting it back.
Yeah, I've got to say, sorry Sean, but it doesn't qualify for top rod hat.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Right, let's get it back. Right, thought I'd just give you a bit of an update. We're all going to go back and get our heads down now, I think. But I've actually had a bite. It wasn't the intended species. I've had an eel. Obviously I'm now fishing for the perch. I've had a few pickups, but nothing's come of it really, other than obviously picking up that eel, which wasn't great, but it was nice to see a fish, to be fair, and actually get a run. But we've had a bit of a social item, mate. It's been alright.
Yeah, lovely Chinese, plenty of laughs, mainly at Carp King's first couple of videos and some of the classic lines he's come out with. Yeah, to be fair, like, you know, the whole weekend has been made by the bants and the laughters we've had. So yeah, it's what we came for and what we've got really. But I guess hopefully going into the final night we can produce a fish somewhere along the bank and yeah, get an intended species for you of some sort. But I guess we'll if we don't see you in the night, we'll see you in the morning for a wet pack down.
Definitely, yeah. So hopefully something happens, but we'll see you in the morning if not.
None of these noddies had any either.
Right, there we go then, end of the session. Unfortunately no fish for any of us, but all in all it's been a cracking weekend. Not a bad bunch of lads I suppose, and yeah, that's all we can really say, innit? We've had a crack, you know, a good laugh.
Definitely, it's a shame nothing's happened. Well, I had an eel, but I don't really count. But yeah, it's been windy, wet, but at least we've had a good social, although there haven't really been any fish. But hopefully next time we're all out, we'll have something to show you. So until next time, get out of the bank, be lucky, and we'll see you again soon.
Ciao.
That's like the least amount of energy I've ever.
You want to do next or?
Yeah.